Washington is facing mounting questions over the true state of its military readiness. A combination of ongoing global conflicts, high missile usage in Iran, and strained production lines are raising concerns over a possible depletion of its missile stockpiles. According to a report by The Atlantic, American Vice President JD Vance has privately expressed concerns over the state of American munitions reserves and has repeatedly questioned the Pentagon's assessment of the ongoing war in Iran. Reports claim that Vance has even queried whether the information being provided to President Trump about the reality on the ground is reaching him. Now, the central concern being raised is not just about current operations, but also about long-term global commitments. If U.S. stockpiles continue to decline, America would be forced to prioritize defense needs in critical regions such as Taiwan against China, South Korea against the North, and Europe against Russia. Meanwhile, senior defense officials, including the Defence Secretary Pete Hegseth and the General Dan Kane, who's the chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, have publicly asserted that U.S. stockpiles remain robust and capable. However, multiple reports paint a more pressured picture. Let's tell you about it. A major analysis by the Center for Strategic and International Studies, or the CSIS, paints a striking picture of the scale of the expenditure. Since the war began in late February, the U.S. has used up at least half of its THAAD missiles, nearly half of its Patriot air defense systems, and around 45% of its precision strike missiles. The numbers are just as significant across other systems. Around 30% of Tomahawk missiles have been deployed, along with substantial use of joint air-to-surface standoff missiles, and roughly 20% of SM-3 and SM-6 interceptors. Internal political tensions are also surfacing against this backdrop. Remember, reports suggest that differences have emerged within the American leadership as well over how the war in Iran is being described, how much stockpile data is accurate, and whether the strategy being pursued is sustainable for the future. Now, the Iran war is beginning to create political ripple effects back home in Washington as well for Donald Trump. Trump is now grappling with a war narrative that is beyond his control, as his polling numbers drop even lower, with Americans' approval for this war plunging. He has no choice apart from finding a scapegoat. And nobody looks more suitable than Pete Hegseth. Signs of this shift were visible as early as the 4th of March, when Trump threw a live grenade at Hegseth when he was asked about the U.S. war objectives in Iran. Trump publicly pointed to Pete Hegseth's role in pushing for aggressive action in West Asia. Listen in.
They've been poisoning the American people, and Joe Biden tried to approach it with kid gloves.
I think you were the first one to speak up, and you said, let's do it, because you can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
Now, the Pentagon is also exploring structural fixes for its long-term production bottlenecks. Reports say that the U.S. Defense Department is considering a whopping $1.85 billion feasibility study to explore outsourcing or co-production of warship designs with allies such as South Korea and Japan. The study, which is part of the 2027 budget plan, would assess whether advanced foreign designs like Japan's Mogami class and South Korea's Daewoo class frigates could help supplement overstretched shipbuilding capacity of Washington. If approved, this would mark the first time since World War II that the U.S. may depend on foreign designs for major surface warships. The move comes as America reportedly continues to struggle with labor shortage and cost overruns in its domestic shipbuilding industry. The initiative also aims to bridge a widening shipbuilding capacity gap with China, which is reportedly producing 6 to 10 destroyers per year, which is 4 to 6 times the rate of the United States. Together, these developments highlight a major pressure point for Washington, where military overstretch, industrial limitation, and political accountability are all converging at the same time.